Now we'll cover some just quick operation tips and how to actually operate the machine. So as we mentioned before you're turning on the machine, every time just make sure that there is no objects on the working table to hit the laser head, because when you're turning on, the laser head automatically will move to the right top corner for homing. So make sure everything is clear and turn on the machine. Right. So the cursor here is on, and we are in like a screen mode. So we assume that we already transferred the file to the laser memory, either through direct connection to the computer or through the USB key and the USB port on the right side of the keypad. So we have a just job here named balloon, and the speed we always keep it 100%, power 100%. Here piece 1, that's all, and whatever power we want to set, and the speed we usually set it in the software. So we press escape and then we move the head wherever we want to start the job. We put our material in such a way that it covers the bottom side or below the autofocus probe, because here we want to do autofocus procedure. So autofocus, first the material has to be positioned below the autofocus probe, then press Z to go to Z axis operate, and now it's safe to press reset. Right? Otherwise, if for some reason the material was out of the autofocus probe touching area, when I press the reset, the table starts to rise and it's waiting to the touch probe to tell him that where is the material, but the material will just will never touch the laser the autofocus probe, because it's not there, and it might hit the laser head and it just crash it and make lots of damage. So again, it's very important. First, make sure your material is below your autofocus probe, it's in Z axis operate, and we press reset. So that's all autofocus procedure. It's very easy, it's fast, but needs to be taken care of any possible damage which you can cause to the laser probe. One thing which is very important, the material surface where you want to just use for autofocus has to be flat and horizontal. In case you have like a slope surface or a round surface, it's very important to just either use the manual autofocus for this kind of surfaces, or make sure that you use the highest possible surface where after autofocusing it doesn't slip and doesn't bend your autofocus probe. That's very important. The most of, first of all, just try not to use autofocus on the surfaces which are not horizontal. But if you had to, just be careful you know it's at your own risk, and you need, especially for the round objects, for rotary objects, you can use that, but try to bring your head on your autofocus prop exactly on the highest point of that curved surface. So after we did our autofocusing, we just go out of Z-axis mode. We are now in screen mode. As long as we don't want to move the head, it doesn't matter. We can keep in the same screen mode. So our job is starting from top right corner. You will get some more details in software operation. So what I need to bring the position of the material is just to bring it in the top right position of my graphic. So when I press in this position, when I press test, it moves like a rectangle. It's the maximum area, rectangle area you require for that particular graphic. So then the material is there, the autofocus is already done, you close the door and you start your process. So this is the actual material which we are going to use. Since the thickness is different from the other one which we already did the autofocus, so we need to do the autofocus again. So just a quick tip, if you don't change your material and you're using the same thickness as before, you don't need to repeat autofocus every time. But if you change the material and the height and like the thickness is changed, then you need to focus again. So in that case, again, I go to Z-axis and make sure the material below the autofocus prop and press reset, and it's done. And then I bring my material or move my laser head, either way, to the position which we want to start. This is actually the mode which we gonna mention in the software, or we already mentioned in the software operation, as an immediate mode. That means immediate mode is like that we bring the laser head wherever we want and start from there, and we won't follow the actual coordinates. So this is good for just piece cutting or doing one piece at a time. But if you want to do some sort of series of engravings with the same engraving graphic, it's maybe it's better to use some sort of logic origin or go to non-immediate mode. So now we place it. We go from Z-axis out from Z-axis mode. We test it to see it is within the working area, and then we close the door and we start our job. And when the job is finished, the beep's coming, and you can open the door. And as you can see, we cut 2 pieces of balloons with some engraving on it.